Universe mode in WWE 2K24 can get pretty boring pretty fast, but in this video I am going to show you 3 ways that you can make your universe mode more fun. So the first thing is we're going to be using some community creation, so make sure that you head over to the community creations tab. And the first thing is NXT call-ups / roster expansions. Now, I've seen a couple of you in the comments in more than one of my videos talking about this, and I want to show you how I have done this before. And so when you go to the community creations tab, the first user that I would recommend looking for is Greenland, and these are users who have completely original calls, so they are not real superstars in any way. A couple of them even have backstories, but all of these that I will show you come with move sets, entrances, stories, sometimes 2 different attires. They're really well thought out. Overalls are not like all 99 overalls or anything like that. They're really well thought out and they're really well done. And this is a way that you can graduate some people from NXT to your main roster and then have some of that newer talent come up. Or if you just wanted to add any of these to your main roster, if you're not using NXT in your universe mode or anything like that, you can do that. And so that's the first user that I recommend is Greenland with 2 3s as the E's in the word green. And then the second one is Blackwire052, and he does a great job as well of creating those calls that have different attires, entrances, move sets all done, and you can just pop these into your universe mode and they will fit in beautifully. And there's a lot of different creators out there who do this. These are not the only 2, and I'll put some in this video here in a moment of other creators I would recommend checking out. But you can see here again, complete 2 different attires, complete move set, complete entrances, everything. And again, you could just put them right in. So here's some other creators I would recommend checking out as well in the community creations tab. And I want to show you guys just these entrances that they have, as well as a little bit of gameplay using these superstars, because I just wanted to show you that these guys do come with complete custom entrances and move sets, like I've mentioned a couple times before. But again, I really like doing this for like they do in real life, where NXT guys, like we're seeing Braun Breaker, Carmelo, Ilya, they go up to the main roster, but you need guys in your NXT brand to keep it going at that point. And so you can download some of these, put them right into your NXT roster, and they will fit in beautifully. And like I said before, the overalls for these are all done really nicely as well. And you can obviously customize the attributes if you want. I know sometimes when you download calls, they're in like the 90 overalls. Maybe you don't want that right away because they're going to go to NXT, so you can bump them down to like 80s. Some of them already come in the 75 to 85 range, so just make sure you're keeping an eye out for that when you download any of these guys. But overall, nothing too crazy. None of them you see will ever be like 99s or anything like that. These are not, the point of these are not to have them be like these super overpowered people. They're really for you to be able to put into this fictional universe you've created, whether you wanted to do all original calls or add these to the existing WWE roster or your existing universe. I would definitely recommend doing that. It's a really nice way to keep your universe mode fresh, add new talents, that way you're not kind of seeing just the same things over and over and over again. And here's some gameplay using these 2 guys, just so you can see the different movesets and kind of how they look in a very quick gameplay type of setting. This was just CPU versus CPU, and you can do this for whether you are a person who likes the computer to book your whole universe mode, or if you're one of those people who like to do it all yourself. This is obviously a great thing to do, and all of these tips will pertain to either or, no matter how you play universe. So the second that I always like to recommend is utilizing custom matches. I don't think most people know all of the things that custom matches can do. And so I want to show you me setting up just a couple really easy ones. So the first thing is, if you turn pin and submissions off, you can actually have a finisher match, which is the first person to perform a finisher wins, which is pretty fun. And then you can also do a first blood match. So they don't put first blood match as like a match you could just select, but you can go in and create it really easily. I would just recommend turning DQs off, rope breaks off, no countouts. It's pretty much a no disqualification match, but the person has to bleed for them to lose. And then make sure that you customize the weapons on the bottom of the ring. That's always something that I like to look at. I really like in the custom matches that you can do this, so they're not just grabbing chairs and kendo sticks, but you can really add a nice variety. And especially with them adding the barbed wire bat and a few other weapons with the ECW pack, definitely would recommend doing this. And then you can actually just save it and name it whatever you want, and then when you go to start up a match, go down to custom match and all the ones that you name will be right there. So it's actually pretty easy. I'm going to go back in here and do a steel cage match, and this is just another kind of simple one. You can just turn pin and submissions off for steel cage, so the only way that they can win the match is actually climbing over the top. I don't know if you're like me and hate the fact you can pin a steel cage. I've never been a fan of that. So I like just the fact that, look, the only way you can win a steel cage is if you go over the top of the cage, no pins. And then you can also set up a 3v3 War Games match in here as well, which is also pretty fun. It doesn't always have to be 4v4. 3v3 lets it go by a little quicker. It's not as hectic in the ring. So just another thing I like to set up. And you can actually use the Community Creations tab as well to get some custom matches. If you type in deathmatch, for example, and you go through Community Creations, you can have a Walmart deathmatch if you want, and there's obviously a number of different other ones as well, but they do have custom arenas with different match types. So you can pretty much search any match you could think of and use show or use arena, and they probably have something for it. But you can also use the custom match feature as well, and this will allow you to get some different matches that aren't already just staples in the game. Lastly is rebrand your shows, and this one is a little bit more just when you want to keep your universe mode fresh and not always have it be the same thing over and over again. If you're doing a typical Raw, SmackDown type of universe, you can actually go in and there's a ton of really great custom stadiums. I'm putting a bunch here on the screen that I like, and if you want to pause any of these and download them, I'm keeping the creators obviously in these screenshots, but there's some really good ones. Raw, there's some excellent SmackDown arenas as well, and so I just recommend doing this. It just adds a little bit of variety to your universe. If you've played for a while and you kind of just want to mix it up a little bit, you can do this. And I always do this at some point in my universe because, again, it just adds a little bit more spice, you know, a little bit more variety. But these tips are just supposed to be really quick and easy ways you can make your universe mode a little bit more fun and a little bit more fresh. They're not supposed to be super intricate, going in and changing all these settings. These are just 3 things you could do within a half an hour or so, just to give your universe mode a little bit more refresh, a little bit more fun, a little bit more spice. I don't really know what the word is, but hopefully you guys enjoyed these tips. What do you do in your universe mode to keep it fun, to keep it fresh? Let me know in the comment section down below. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one.